Welcome back to Backpacker Diaries. If you're a podcast junkie like me, then you know that there's a large variety of podcasts out there, and quite a few that specialize in outdoor topics, hiking and otherwise. And so I wanted to take some time and share some of my favorites on this top 10 list. It's actually a little bigger than 10. I had trouble narrowing it down to just 10. To get started, I want to talk about the N2 backpacking podcast. Bird Shooter out of North Carolina does a great job with bringing a variety of trail-related topics to light. I especially enjoyed the episode where he interviewed the author who wrote an excellent book on Grandma Gatewood's walk. So I definitely encourage you to check out Bird Shooter's podcast called N2 Backpacking. Next on the list, Gail Straub has a couple of podcasts that she's developed over the last couple of years, including She Explores, which highlights the adventures of various women, mainly in the United States, but a little bit international as well. Really inspiring to hear the variety of stories that she brings to light. Especially inspiring was the episode about the Save Bonanza Flats campaign, led by Park City and residents of Summit and Wasatch County, that hit especially close to home to me as a supporter and as a person who has definitely frequented that area between Empire Pass and Guardsman's Pass. Really enjoyed hearing that story about Save Bonanza Flats. Another podcast associated with She Explores called Women on the Road, hosted by Laura Hughes, profiles the various pros and cons and trials and tribulations of living a life on the road in various types of vehicles. It takes an honest look at what it's like to live that lifestyle from a female perspective. Also, the Field Guides podcast features a variety of biology-related topics out of New York State. Really interesting to hear a scientific perspective as they take deep dives into a variety of flora and fauna and other biology-related topics. A podcast I was recently turned on to called Wild Ideas Worth Living is another excellent podcast with a deep catalog that I'm still getting caught up on. Based on the first 7 episodes or so, it's definitely one of my favorites, and it profiles a variety of adventures, some by well-known athletes and some by average people that have 9-to-5 jobs that have done extraordinary things, like run across the entire country in 40-something days, for example. Another podcast that I've recently been turned on to, called The Roots Podcast, is locally produced here out of Provo, I believe, by John Z from Z-Packs. He's a long-distance hiker who has meaningful conversations with a variety of other long-distance hikers. Really been enjoying sort of getting into the mind of a variety of very accomplished long-distance hikers. Outside Magazine has an excellent podcast that certainly is no secret. I believe it's still in the iTunes Top 50 for most downloaded podcasts. They've got a variety of different series. It's very well produced. Also, the Out There podcast by an experienced producer named Willow Belden out of Wyoming profiles a variety of outdoor adventures and the human interest stories that come with them. The First 40 Miles podcast out of Oregon addresses a variety of topics, especially for beginner backpackers. Really enjoy their entertaining presentation and can definitely recommend it for people just getting started out, but there's still valuable stuff for even people that have more experience than that. On the Cascade Hiker podcast out of Washington State, Rudy Getzik interviews a variety of interesting hikers and others that contribute to the community. Really enjoyed the way he's been bumping up his game and being more and more engaged with the community and bringing a variety of interesting topics, not just from Washington, but also throughout the American West. So really appreciate the content that Rudy shares. And it's been great to engage with him online as well. Also, the Trail Show. I always look forward to downloading their very entertaining and informative podcast. Their podcast provides a monthly mashup of beer, trails, and nonsense. And it's very hilarious, the interplay between POD, disco, and a rotating cast of other colorful characters in the hiking community. So really enjoy the entertainment and information that the trail show provides. And last but not least, the DIRTBAG Diaries. It's been running for a long time. And Fitzcahall comes from a rock climbing perspective, but engages with stories that come from a variety of outdoor adventure disciplines, including backpacking and paddling and a number of other sports. Really enjoyed meeting one of the producers last year at the 5 Point Film Festival, where I caught up with Jen and asked her what makes a great story. Her answer was basically that the more you can show how people change over time in relation to their adventures, the more human interest it's going to provide. Good advice from an excellent podcaster. A couple other podcasts that aren't really producing new episodes these days, but definitely deserve an honorable mention. Sounds of the Trail. They have, I believe, a couple seasons from 2015 and 2016 that are definitely worth checking out. Basically, they follow a variety of long-distance hikers on all three of the big trails here in the United States and sort of profile their progress and their trials, tribulations, their agony and ecstasy along the trail. Definitely interesting to get the inside scoop. On a similar topic, Trailside Radio tells the story of Ratatouille's adventures along the Pacific Crest Trail in 2015. It was one that he actually produced as he went along on the trail, which can't be easy. Really enjoyed hearing about his various ecstasies and agonies as well as he went north. All of these podcasts have provided excellent company for me along the trail, so definitely a big thanks to all of these podcasters for providing such excellent content. And I encourage you to check out all these podcasts as well. If you have any podcasts that I missed, I'm always keen to expand what I'm listening to as a podcast junkie, so definitely leave in the comments section below what you've been listening to in regard to outdoor podcasts, and yeah, turn me on to some new stuff that I should be looking into. And I welcome any feedback you have, and give a like, share it around, it's always appreciated. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content that I share here. That's all for now. See you next time.